We're in Grove Studios for another Acoustic Alternative Sessions. GroveStudios.space. If you want to check out the space yourself, you can rent it. It's available 24/7. I'm in here in the middle of the afternoon. You could be here in the middle of the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever works for you. 5 different rooms to pick from. I'm in the largest room where there is a podcast studio, actually table directly across from where I'm standing. You can't tell it if you're listening, but there are 4 other rooms where you can do your things in here, especially designed for musicians to get out of the garage and get into the studio. Often if you live in an apartment or a house with housemates who don't love your drum set or your loud guitar playing, this is really an ideal place for you to get out of the garage and do those things. GroveStudios.space. Today, he's come a long way to be with us, based in Upper Lower Michigan. John Richard Paul is my guest. John, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, John.
It's a kind of an about time thing, right?
It feels like it. I feel like we've been going back and forth now for at least 2, maybe 3 years.
I looked it up because I wasn't sure. Actually, yeah. I couldn't remember. It was actually 3 years ago this month that Dan Beckett, who has since unfriended me on Facebook for some reason.
Same.
Some of the artists that we are mutual friends with, he hasn't, which is a little weird. But he sent me a suggestion to check you out, and I'm glad that he did because I was drawn to your voice and I was drawn to your music.
Appreciate that.
There's a track on your new record, which I'm going to hold up to the cameras, which may or may not be able to see it. The album's called Midwestern Modesty. It's called Untitled New Song, and it gives me pause that you actually want to do this with me because the lyrics are kind of like, I'm not really that kind of person, but yours is still a voice that I want to share with others, and I think we should start with any song. It doesn't have to be that one.
Well,
let's
start with that one. I feel like that's fitting since I got your entire life story.
Before we got out going, you did. You're right.
It's just indicative of the fact that I'm a great listener.
It's true.
It's like a natural magnet for people. They immediately open up upon
you. Should be a therapist instead of a musician, or both.
There's still time. All right, this is Untitled New Song. Don't see much point in talking the way that some folks do, carrying on about this and that and so and you know who. I'd rather sit in silence, just escape into the void. But I'll listen until you're blue in the face and all your words run dry. I've never been much for talking, just ask anyone I know. The most they've ever heard me talk is when they come to a show. So don't expect things to change just because you're here. And you can talk all you want, I'll just sit here and drink my beer. You can go on and on about anything you please. I'll talk about your kids, your spouse, your job, or the latest disease. I'll smile and nod to show you that I'm following along. But I won't have all that much to say other than what's in this song. Never been much for talking. In fact, I kind of find it a bore. Much prefer the silence afforded by the great outdoors. Sometimes I forget the words to my own songs. We'll start that one again. I've never been much for talking. In fact, I kind of find it a bore. I tend to prefer the silence afforded by the great outdoors. Know that I can listen better than just about anyone else. So go ahead and give it a whirl and keep talking about yourself. You can expound upon anything you like. Just don't expect me to say all that much in return. After all, we both know it's your voice you'd rather hear. So I just sit back and listen as your words fill up my ears. And you can go on and on about anything you please. Talk about your kids, your spouse, your job, or the latest disease. I smile and nod to show you that I'm following along. But I won't have all that much to say other than what's in this song. No, I won't have all that much to say other than in this song. Complete with shanked chord. There we go.
Untitled New Song is a newer song from John Richard Paul, my guest today on Acoustic Alternatives. And I was drawn to the unfortunate sound of me forgetting to turn off the snare on the drum behind you. You forgot a lyric. I accidentally hit the cymbal.
All kinds of stuff going on.
There was a little crash going on.
Just chaos.
It was chaos. I wasn't going to ask about it, but since you actually forgot the lyric, one of the things I did to prepare to talk to you is see what other people talk to you about and do follow-up questions. And there was an ADHD-oriented podcast that you were on. I'm like, does he have ADHD? Is that why he got on this podcast?
I do not. That was my buddy David Mond. He actually directed the first video I did, first and only video at this point. He's based out of Grand Rapids, and so he started that podcast and asked if I'd be interested in talking, and I said, yeah, sure, of course.
It was a fantastic interview, actually. He did a great job.
He did. It was an enjoyable conversation. We talked for, probably hour and a half, something like that.
Hour plus.
Yeah.
Well, John Richard Paul's voice is deep, it's rich, it's comforting, it's familiar, even if you haven't heard it before. And I don't necessarily know where that came from. So we're going to dig a little bit into your background and figure out if I can see why that's the case.
Sure.
So where did you grow up? Did you grow up where you lived?
Grew up in Traverse City.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, lived there until midway through sophomore year of high school, then ended up down in Kalamazoo for a spell. Finished up high school down there, went to Western for 2 years, majoring in nothing, minoring in music. My girlfriend.
I thought you said you were an English major.
Well, I'll get to that. While I was majoring in nothing and minoring in music, because I was waitlisted in the saxophone studio at Western, in Trent Kinniston's studio. I was actually a sax player in high school and early college. In addition to being a bass player, the guitar came later. We'll get there. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, I was taken in English class, and my teacher said, "You're a pretty decent writer. Have you ever considered journalism?" And I thought, no, I hadn't. And it happened that my girlfriend at the time was pre-vet at Michigan State, and Michigan State had a good journalism program. So I said, I thought, well, I'm doing nothing here in Kalamazoo. I might as well take my chances up in East Lansing. Plus, my girlfriend lived there, and so we ended up moving in together. It unfortunately didn't last.
I'm sorry.
But I met my wife there shortly thereafter, so it all worked out. No. It all worked out.
That's good to hear. All right. Well, you found your way.
Found my way eventually.
That helps with the songwriting part for sure.
Yes, very much so. It kind of, I think at one point rather pretentiously referred to it as emotional journalism, the kind of writing that I do, because I'm very much a navel gazer. I try to do the fictional route, and I have on a few occasions, but they just don't. It doesn't feel like they resonate quite as strongly as the ones that are deeply personal.
I was watching a video of something of you, could have been that interview actually, and on the wall behind you, I saw Charlie Louvin, I saw Hank Snow, I saw some country records on the wall. I'm like, okay, well, that's probably an imprint on his musical taste right there.
Yeah, very much so.
But there must have been more, because you don't feel like a country artist to me. You don't even feel like a classic country artist to me.
Yeah, no.
You feel more like the John Prine to me.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, Prine was a huge early influence on me. End of high school, I was listening to John Prine and Neil Young pretty much exclusively. So I very much identify with that kind of late 60s, early 70s singer-songwriter bent. And then, I've kind of found my way to Lyle Lovett, Guy Clark, those kinds of guys have been a big influence on my writing, especially within the last decade or so.
I suppose I could hear your voice doing classic country if that were the case.
For sure, yeah.
That isn't, again, when I listen to your records, I don't go
right.
Sticking with my classic country section, which
yeah.
I don't really have a big one. But you probably also went through a phase where neither of these two things, like you probably had a rock phase at some point.
Oh, right? Of course. Everybody has one.
What kind of stuff were you listening to in
that? In college, I was in several emo bands.
Oh.
So, like I said, I've been primarily a bass player. Started playing when I was about 15, I think. I'll be 45 in a couple weeks. So I've been playing for about 30 years. Did a lot of rock stuff early on. Played with some singer-songwriter artists. Western and Maori was one I played with in college. The drummer, Mark Berry, is the drummer for Lord Huron.
Oh.
So that was his band after Western and Maori. And then one of my main gigs is playing bass for Drew Hale,
who's a country artist up in northern Michigan, and I've been playing with him. It'll be a decade this September.
I see his name a lot.
Yeah, he plays around the state quite a bit. We're going to Pittsburgh in a couple weeks. We've played in Nashville quite a bit, and then I play. I spent some time playing in the NMC Jazz Big Band, playing bass for that, and I play in a jazz fusion group called East Bay Drive. And then, in addition to the solo stuff, I also play with a duo partner, Rhett DeCour. We play as Rhett and John. We fashion ourselves as an acoustic oldies station. So it's just me on guitar and then the dueling harmonies. And then I play bass for two other singer-songwriters up in Traverse City, Jack M. Seneff and the Heartland Mission, and A.S. Lutz.
Okay. It's quite a busy schedule.
Try to keep busy.
You're trying to make a music living, and that's hard to do.
Yes. Yeah, I've been doing that since doing music full-time since 2019. Timing could not have been poorer. If we remember what happened in 2020.
Yeah. Wasn't there some shutdown of some sort?
There was something that happened that made it a little difficult to make a living as a musician. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. That was kind of a drag.
What was your day job before you became self-employed?
I was it was before that. I worked for a classic car insurance company up in Traverse City. That'll be enough for folks who know to know. I worked for them for 11 years. I was a writer for them, and I did photography and videography and managed social media accounts and things like that. So I was working remotely basically from 2016 until I was let go in August of 2018. Not that anybody's keeping score on that. But I was given a full year's severance, and I figured this is the kind of kick in the rear that you need. This is the universe saying, you're not supposed to be here. Let's do the music thing. And so I've stuck with that and refused a plan B ever since. So it forces you to hustle just that much harder.
Do you like being self-employed as a musician?
I do. It's a little stressful not having a consistent income.
Yeah.
And especially with the state of the economy now, a lot of places that I would normally be playing in the summers have either cut back drastically on their summer music schedule, or they've done away with their entertainment budget entirely. So it makes it a little difficult to make a living. But the last few years have been pretty good. We'll see how this year shakes out.
If this is an uncomfortable subject, we don't have to go there. But your family, growing up, I know because I did some research, you have a nonverbal sister, which is not something that everybody I know has. One other artist that has been here, Seth Clear, had a nonverbal autistic brother, and he has since passed away, and he's talked about him openly in his songs and his conversation. And I don't know how she affects what you do or how your family affected what you became as a performer.
I think being... I'm the oldest of four. She's 7 years younger than me. So I think, I kind of naturally gravitated to that caregiver role. And I think that's come through in the music. Being a bass player, you're kind of in a supportive role for the rest of the band. So I think, given my personality and being a fairly introverted individual, not unlike Mr. Gorka, who you had here recently.
He was standing right there.
But I'm making eye contact this
you
time, so I'm trying my best to maintain consistent eye contact. But no, she was, you feel very protective of her, and growing up, and still, she lives 2 doors down from me now. There's a song on my first record. It's called Our Roots Run Deep, where the first line is, Annie says my face is looking older these days, and it's my Annie's my sister, and it's her, the looks that she gives conveys so much more than any words could. So I like the idea that she's seeing me now, and she's like, brother, you're looking pretty old these days.
Thanks.
I said, but aren't we all, sis?
Yeah. Are your other siblings musical at all, or just you?
Just me. My brother and sister were in band and choir in high school, but haven't really done much since then. And they both live downstate, so they're in the general vicinity of Detroit.
Okay. So just guitar and bass, or do you play other instruments? You mentioned sax.
Yeah, I played saxophone all through, high school and into early college. Kind of abandoned that after leaving Western. Picked up bass when I was about 15. I've always kind of dabbled with guitar, but really got into it seriously, really with the pandemic, with all the time on my hands. But then I also can play piano, banjo, mandolin, whatever's around, I'll try and do something with. And I've done that on a lot of the records. On this most recent one, I played piano, banjo, mandolin, guitar, bass, all the vocals. So
you're a utility player.
Trying to be.
Well, Dying on the Vine, you dream about playing the piano. I was just going to ask if you actually played the piano.
I do, but very poorly.
You dream about being better.
Yes. Okay. Yes, very much so.
The new album is called Midwestern Modesty. It is your second full length, right?
Correct.
EP in between and some other singles and things that are kind of scattered about. Do you want to do another song right now?
Yeah, we'll do another one from that record. I'm gonna do a song called In Return, which is kind of about it's self-explanatory in the lyrics, but it's adopt a persona to kind of reconcile the idea of playing music for a living and how that can not always feel great. Goes like this.
Sadie says she's packing it in for good this time. Says she simply had enough. Put too much of herself out into the world and got nothing in return. Said there were just a few too many late nights playing the same old songs. Said it was starting to feel like diminishing returns. Well, it was taking its toll on her. She said it's harder, these days, to find your voice and be sure it's the real you. Somewhere along the way I lost the thread that I was counting on to help me see this through. Sadie says they took the best years of her life as if she herself were through. Says she's feeling used up and abused from bearing her soul to empty rooms. Said there was once a time not too long ago when there was nothing else she'd rather do. But the way things have changed versus the way she'd hoped they'd go, well, it just seems like her time was through. And now the years have worn away, any magic left inside. She says, I can't bring myself to admitting to it now, but I know it's me who let it die. Well, it was me who let it die. Well, I wasn't sure what to say to her this time. Lord knows I felt much the same. But I've already put so much of myself out into the world. I guess I never really gave that much thought to what I might get in return. Just dove in and I held my breath. The work alone became my only concern. And yeah, it's harder these days to find your voice and be sure it's the real you. But I've held on for dear life to that thread, hoping it might still see me through. Sadie says she's packing it in for good this time. Says she simply had enough. But put too much of herself out into the world and got nothing in return.
In Return, it's a track you can find on the new album Midwestern Modesty from my guest John Richard Paul. You're listening to Acoustic Alternatives, the podcast. There's also a video playlist and a weekly radio show. And this is happening at Grove Studios. And Grove Studios makes everything I do with the podcast possible. Had they not invited me to do this 5+ years ago, you would not be hearing John Richard Paul on the podcast. I hope you'd hear him somewhere else, but I don't know. The purpose of the podcast for me initially was, okay, sure, I'll try it. And then it became, I have another outlet to let people know about music that is worth hearing. I need to use that to expose people I think need to be heard. And Grove made that possible. So grovestudios.space, if you want to check it out yourself, especially if you're a musician in the Ann Arbor, Detroit area, this is available for you to rent 24/7. It's a keypad operation. You can use it whenever you want, as long as it's not already booked by somebody else. Bring your band here to practice your DJ skills in another room. There's a room for mastering. I mean, it's a cool place. grovestudios.space, and really thank you to them, because without them, I don't do this. There's no way to hear these songs probably. I'm not sure if you're getting radio play anywhere other than on my program on Sunday mornings on Sonic Coast or Radio Cobra Detroit, but I'm so glad you're here, John. Thanks for making the trip down. Really I'm glad we could work it out around a gig that you're doing today, the recording date, but not too many times have you played, if ever, in the Ann Arbor,
this is my first time.
It's about damn time.
Tell me about it.
Happy to have you. Well, we were just talking about you, you're multi-instrumentalist, but you started out, you said sax and then mostly bass after.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Who were your bass playing heroes? Do you have people that you were emulating and why you wanted to play bass?
I can pinpoint the exact moment I knew I wanted to play bass. I saw Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band at the Cherry Festival, and John Entwistle was on bass that year.
What?
And he played Boris the Spider, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
I didn't know Entwistle toured with the Ringo Starr Band.
Yep. Yeah, that would have been 95. So that I saved my pennies, and that December I got my first bass, a PV Milestone 2. It's a junk bass, but you got to start somewhere.
Sure.
And I from there went to obviously Paul McCartney was a big influence.
I've heard of him.
He's I think he's got a new record coming out.
It does,
sometime soon. Yeah. I think he's been doing it a long time.
Right.
I don't I don't know if too many people are familiar with his work, but
I think he's got a shot though.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the fact that he's had the longevity in this game is pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive.
So there's hope for the rest of us,
right?
Which is good. And then Dee Murray from the Elton John Band.
Oh, yeah.
The first iteration of that was a huge influence. Then obviously, you get into Jamerson and Jaco Pastorius and Victor Wooten, and you just kind of keep going from there.
What about the Geddy Lees and the Les Claypool? Is that not your style?
I was actually listening to Primus on the way down here.
Okay.
So I can't say no to that. But the both of those guys have very singular styles that essentially just kind of work in their style of music.
That's true.
I mean, you hear a Primus song and immediately it's a Primus song.
Oh, yeah.
There's no denying that. Rush is a little more. That's a little easier to slot into different.
Adapt.
Yes, exactly. But Les Claypool is definitely a singular voice on the instrument.
A little bit. He's got a few projects too.
Yes, he does.
Well, the recording career, after being a sideman for so long, you decided to go ahead and be the front man, which was a brave thing to do, but
yes.
Lucky for you, you have the voice to pull it off, because not everybody does. I mean, I don't have a voice to sing at all. When you put out that first EP back in 2021, was that sort of like a testing the water to see if you could do it?
Yeah, it was. Those first. I think I played my first solo show in April of 21, and I think for the first 2 years I didn't play a single show with my eyes open.
Oh,
just going from being the bass player to suddenly being the central focus is a very, very unsettling thing for someone who has been a lifelong introvert and anxiety and all of that stuff. So anybody who knows me in that capacity would see what I'm doing now and be like, that is not the same person that I knew, because it's just so counter to what anyone would have expected. at that time. But it's been good. It's it's forced me to really step out of my comfort zone. Playing songs that are pretty personal, and then playing them in front of other people. The majority of the gigs that I play are at wineries, breweries, distilleries, things like that, which there are a number of them up in the Traverse City area. So I'm very thankful to be able to have that as an option. Mm-hmm. But you're sipping your wine on a Sunday afternoon. The last thing you want to hear is a song like "In Return" or "Dying on the Vine" or something like that. So you kind of have to tailor it accordingly.
Pretty much. Well, I know this interview is about you, but you sparked something in me that is relatively related to what you just said. Also me, pretty much an introvert until I started doing radio regularly, and I built up some confidence in my ability to have a conversation with nobody, really, an empty room, but you're talking to somebody.
Yes.
So I'm glad it worked out for both of us.
Yeah.
Look at us.
It's the same sort of thing. You find your comfort zone, and you realize, I'm kind of okay at what I'm doing. Not we're Midwestern.
Yeah.
So
we're modest.
We're modest. A little illusion there. So it's you're not going to be like, well, I know that I'm really good at what I do, so you should be paying attention to what I'm doing. But there's that internal feeling of, this feels good, this feels comfortable, I feel natural doing this. It doesn't feel forced or anything like
this
that.
conversation.
Very
That's
much
what it feels like to me. I hope you're comfortable as well.
Very much so.
Your record release schedule, as I've laid it out, was the Plus 2 EP back in December of 2021.
Yes.
Then there was The Road of Life. Is that the full length over here?
Yes.
That's the full length. With that to a camera. I'm not sure which one. Then the EP, A Sunday in April, a Christmas single in 2025, and then the Midwestern Modesty. But there's also, I think I forgot the Dogtown one.
Yeah, I did.
Is this an official release or just sort of a?
Yeah, I did. I've done 3 Dogtown sessions already. That is the first 2, I think.
It's interesting that Midwestern Modesty is on this release, which came out in I Can't See in the Dark, but 2022. And let's see, Existential Blues is on here. I'm like, I knew that song when I heard it. How did I know that song?
They've been kicking around for a while and finally made it onto a record. Midwestern Modesty in an abbreviated format. I was told that I didn't need to go to a second chorus. Keep it short and sweet.
Fine.
Yeah.
If you say so. One of the standout cuts on the first full length was, for me, the Warriors Hall of Fame. Are you still a Warrior today? Is this
very much so?
He doesn't. What were you worried about now?
Nothing's changed. What should I not be worried about?
Okay, well, that's
given the state of things.
That's fair. It's a loaded question. You're right.
And as a father of 2 young boys, it's almost impossible not to be a chronic worrier.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if I were a musician, I'd be like, why would I go into this now? There's no money to be made.
Right, exactly.
And then if I had kids, I'd be like, oh my God, why did I do this to them?
Yeah, my wife is she's very, very patient with the whole situation. She's a teacher, a high school teacher. She teaches AP Government, which is another thing in and of itself in this current socio-political climate in which we are all existing.
Yep.
So that's always a fun series of conversations after she gets home from school. But she's been extremely patient with this whole thing. Fortunately, it's the ability to play music full time kind of took off pretty quickly once I got the Rhett and John duo established. I would say that's about 90% of what I do for my income is playing those shows, playing all the wineries in Leelanau County and things like that. So,
well, similarly, stable income within the household.
Yes.
Same in my house as a teacher as well.
Yes.
But it still makes you go, like this. Am I playing with this career, or is this a real career? Right. I hope it works out because I don't want to be that guy.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we probably both grew up in a household where Dad was the primary breadwinner, and you always kind of feel like crap that you're not really that. You're following your passion, and you're really good at what you do, but this is just not a lucrative way to make a living, people.
100%.
But you're good at it. I mean, you deserve, like I mentioned you in the same sentence with John Prine, you're as good as, you sound like a similar category, right? Like if the right person discovers you and gets you into a TV soundtrack or something, that could be the thing that makes you go to the next level where, sorry, kids, I'm going to be gone for a month on the road. I mean, that would be a huge change for your household because right now I bet you're the primary take care of the kids to the schools.
I mean, my wife leaves between 7 and 7:30, and the boys, I drop them off at 10 to 9. I dropped them off and drove straight here today. Well, I did a stopover in Ann Arbor and went to a couple record shops.
Who can blame you?
Don't tell my wife.
She won't listen to this.
No, she won't. It's kind of the standing joke is that she doesn't listen to anything I do.
I know that feeling 100%.
It's kind of like, oh, you put a record out? Yeah, I've been working on it for a year and a half. Just kidding.
That's sad, but I get it. 100% get it. John Richard Paul is my guest today on Acoustic Alternatives. Let's talk about, and I have to put this in front of me because it's a big list, some of the folks that you've recorded with in the last 5 years. First of all, I happened to see one of those people on stage recently when I went to see The Format at Royal Oak Music Theater because I
was at that show as well.
Joining his former fun bandmate, multi-instrumentalist Andrew Dust was there on stage. Like, hey, what the heck?
Yep.
He played organ on one of your recordings.
He did, yeah. He played on +2. I met him through Andrew Lutz, or A.S. Lutz. We were all working on a pre-production for an album that has yet to happen, but will happen eventually for Andrew. And I met Andrew Dost through that. And we've kind of struck up a bit of a friendship since then.
Nice.
And, I was at that Format show as well. The Format's my wife's favorite band.
Oh,
so
why didn't you tell me you were there? Because you didn't know I was there.
I didn't know you were there. We actually, funny story, we had a band I was in college called the Farewell Drive opened for the Format when they played The Blind Pig shortly after Interventions and Lullabies came out.
I tried going to that show, but it was sold out by the time I went to buy tickets. That's funny.
We opened that show. My wife was supposed to go to that show, but a friend had invited her to go see The Lion King, which happened to be on the same day.
Oh.
And she was very torn, but she went with her friend, like a good friend. And so for Christmas, I got tickets to the Format show. And she was very excited to finally get to see her favorite band 20-some years after the fact.
It's a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
I got to meet Fun backstage at Meadowbrook when they played there during the height of their popularity. I doubt any of them would remember meeting me, but I have a picture with the three of them, and it was just like, I get to meet Fun. Just one of the things that happens when you're a radio guy.
Yep.
Also, Huggy Bear, Mark Lavengood, who's just, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
All over the place.
He's all over the place. He played on one of your records. Drew Hale, you mentioned.
Yep.
New mother and member of Moxie Strings at one point, Diana Ladio.
Yes.
She plays on your records, and just some of the super talented people that I think of that are up near you that aren't on the record. We talked about Joshua Davis, May Earlywine, and these are people that you should be in the same circle with.
I would like to. I would like to be. I got asked to open for May's playing with a country group called Little Dipper at the Garden Theater in Frankfurt on June 20th, and I got asked to open that show. So I have a full band for there for that. So I've only met her I think once or twice. So it'll be nice to be able to share a bill with her and get to know her a little better.
She is oh my gosh. Going to one of her shows is like a spiritual event for me.
Seems to be the case for a lot of folks.
Her father reached out to me after the interview I did with her, and he's kind of a big deal. If you don't know anything about him, you should look him up. And he's just, I loved your interview with May. It was so good. I'm like, well, thank you. I mean, coming from you, that's your dad, for Christ's sake. That was just really nice. And she's a sweetheart. I mean, she's one of the best and just so prolific. I didn't mention this a bit ago. I was going to, but it kind of slipped my mind. I don't do this for money. I wouldn't mind making money at this. I have a Patreon page, and I get about $20 a month from that. And I offer people a chance to hear some interviews that I've done at my previous world, and I don't advertise that because I don't really want my previous job to know that.
Yeah.
But you can hear the interviews I did with Noah Gunderson, Noah Guthrie, Noah Kahn, Ed Sheeran, and all these people that stopped by the studios, and I have them in my Patreon page for you to hear. But I don't know how to. I had a thought, and it's gone now. Look, I have ADHD too. No, it was about where was I going?
It was going somewhere.
It was going somewhere.
The train will come back around.
The train will actually pass through. I forget. Anyway, we have an opportunity to expose people to music through this vehicle. So I would like for you, if you don't mind, to do another song.
Sure. I'm going to do the aforementioned Existentialist Blues.
Okay.
Written after being told I had too many damn depressing songs.
By your wife?
By my dad.
Oh.
And one of my friends. No, my wife doesn't listen to the music.
Oh,
we
sorry,
already
forgot.
established
Yeah,
this.
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Sorry, Paige. I was trying to learn Doc Watson's Deep River Blues, and I failed miserably, but I loved the first chord, so I figured, sounds pretty good. I like that. What can I do off of that? So I wrote this song. It goes like this.
She don't like the sad songs I play, though she listen to them day after day. She recommends that I write a happy song or two, 'cause all of them sad songs, they just make her feel blue. She says it's time to look on the sunnier side of life, put away all that toil and strife. Sing a song that's pleasing to the ear, words and a melody full of cheer. She don't like the sad songs I play. She says they have a way of ruining the day. So why not write about something kinda nice for a change, with a little more sugar and a whole lot less spice? I said, maybe you didn't hear. They say sad songs and waltzes really selling this year. Ain't no room for that old sunnier side of things, just doom and gloom and that old existentialist blues. I'm gonna keep on playing my sad old songs until the day something better comes along. Use the same few chords and borrowed licks till this sad old dog learns a few happier tricks. She don't like the sad songs I play, though she listen to them day after day. She recommends that I write a happy song or two, 'cause all of them sad songs, they just make her feel blue. All of those sad songs, they just make her feel blue. All of them sad songs, they just make her feel blue.
John Richard Paul, my guest on Acoustic Alternatives. I can't help but play air guitar to that song. I don't know why.
I saw that. That was great.
I love that one. That's a great one. Thanks for putting that on the record.
you.
Again, like, revisiting it,
You got to make it a thing.
fresh and new. Well, I mean, I don't know what your marketing plan is for this release, like to take it to a larger audience nationally. Whereas when it was on this, it wasn't really, a push.
Are
you ready for that?
what is how does any of this stuff work in 2026?
I don't know, but people get discovered somehow.
They
right?
do. There's got to be some way. I have no idea. If anybody has any idea, let me know, because I have no idea.
Is it Jesse Wells that sort of blew up out of doing who knows what? Like, he's good, but is he any better than you? I don't know. I don't think so.
He does his thing.
He does his thing. It's honest. I like
you just
that.
gotta have your shtick.
Right, but why does he break through and not you? I don't know.
It's just the way of the world.
That's an Earth, Wind & Fire song, but okay. Existential Blues can be found on Midwestern Modesty, the newest release from John Richard Paul. Where did you record this one?
I recorded the majority of it at home.
Really?
Yeah, the guitar and bass were done at home. We recorded drums and pedal steel at the Opera House in Traverse City. My buddy Joe Bears runs front of house there. So he let us in during the day, and we did some tracking there, and then the rest was done either at my house or my buddy Skylar's house. We kind of did it piecemeal, just naturally being a multi-instrumentalist and handling a lot of the roles on the record. I could not record it live, so it makes it a little difficult.
Yes.
Until they perfect cloning.
That'd be cool.
It's just not in the cards.
No. Well, I just got my physical copy. Previously, I had a digital copy with no liner notes. So who is on the record?
Apologize. I got, let's see, Got Jim Cremidas back on pedal steel and dobro. Skylar Binkley plays drums. Diana played fiddle on 2 tunes. Let's see, who else do we have on there? Jack M. Seneff played harmonica on Untitled Blues. And Kyle Wayne Luck, who mixed the record, sings harmony on the last tune. Notes on an Imaginary Ending.
One of the songs on the record, the title track actually, or the first track, not title track, excuse me, Write About You tells me you aren't that great at expressing yourself to people that you love.
No.
Is this something you're working on, or you're just okay with that?
Communication has not been a strong suit in my family. They will be the first to admit that.
They wouldn't admit it because it'd have to communicate.
Exactly. So I've been working on that. I've kind of befriended Jack M. Seneff and his band over the last 3-4 years. Played on the last 2 records that he's put out. He's got one coming out this next month, and they're all they talk a lot and share a lot, and that was all new territory for me. And I feel like it's kind of opened me up a little bit, and I think it's helped me both as a person and as a songwriter to be able to communicate a little bit more clearly. But I like opening the record with "Write About You," because then if you're taking it literally, you then have to wonder which of the 9 songs following it is the song that actually, manifested itself.
Yes.
So it's the same reason I put Existentialist Blues immediately after Dying on the Vine. It's kind of funny.
Okay, yeah. He's telling a story.
Yeah, just put a super depressing song and then follow it with a song commenting on the fact that there are too many depressing songs in the catalog, and I should probably work on that.
But in a digital streaming world, you can only hope that they will listen to the record in order.
That's true.
I'm glad you went physical.
Yes,
physical LP and CD.
You have to. I'm a record collector. I've got over 10,000 records, so for me it's like it doesn't exist unless you have a physical copy.
I 100% agree. There have been people that I've been a big fan of for a long time that stopped releasing physical music. Guess what? I stopped buying their music.
Yeah.
I love your music, but I want a physical thing.
Yeah.
And until you realize that there are actually people who actually like CDs still.
There are.
Yeah. I mean, is it that expensive to print 1,000 of these?
No, it's great. I mean, CDs are the easiest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, with those, I do a run of 100, and it's, I think, maybe $3.50 or something like that.
That's nothing.
Yeah,
sell for $10, you still make money.
$10, you make your costs back real quick. So
that makes me think. I have an idea, but not for the podcast, for somebody else, somebody who's been on and is stubborn. Off air, I will tell you what I'm referring to. You live in an area, as we discussed, Traverse City. It's kind of difficult to plan around the weather, shall we say.
Yep.
How do you get around that world in the winter? You had a rough winter.
We did have a rough winter. We had rough winters, plural, this year. I think we had, you get the early November snowfall, and then it all goes away for Christmas. And, you think at Thanksgiving, you're thinking, all right, we're gonna have a white Christmas finally. Nope, it's a brown Christmas. Then you get the post New Year snow that then all goes away, and all the ski resorts and cross country ski places start panicking, and then it comes back again end of January, first part of February, and then it goes away again, and then it comes again in March. I think we got about 2.5 feet of snow in a day or two, I think in March. They shut everything down. Everybody was saying stay off the roads. Yeah. They closed school. My kids were off for 6 days straight. Oh. It was nuts.
How often do you have to cancel a gig because of weather?
Not often, thankfully. Most places are they're cognizant of the fact that the weather up there is fairly unpredictable. So most places will have weather contingency plans, which is nice.
Your music, to me, is not background, I'm at a winery music. I should be listening to what you're singing and playing. How distracting is that for you as a performer? And how often do you actually get to play a listening room where people are there to listen to you? I
get to play listening rooms usually once or twice a year.
That's not enough.
Which is, I would like to increase that number.
We need to work on that. Not me. Maybe I'll help you out if you want.
Hey, I'll take all the help I can get. No, it's, every gig I treat as kind of a learning experience.
Okay.
It's it's a chance for me to work on something. It's like stand-ups workshopping material in clubs. It's the same idea. Like I know people aren't there to listen to me. I'm totally fine with that. But if I can catch their ear and then all of a sudden they start listening to me, then it feels just that much more rewarding because I was able to connect with them through my music. And it wasn't, it's one thing when it's very satisfying when they intentionally come to listen to you, obviously. But then when you can convert somebody in in an unexpected way like that, I think I feel like that's just that much more rewarding as a performer.
It's happened to me a few times. Not super often because I usually purposely go to listen to music.
Yeah.
Where you're playing this afternoon, I went to check it out for the first time, I don't know, a year ago. I'd never been there. A lot of my friends have been playing there. I should check that place out sometime. So you're doing the 5:30 to 6:30 gig, and which is what this artist was doing. I said, I'll have my friend meet me up there because she's never been there either. So we sat there, and we were like tearing up during a song neither one of us had ever heard before from an artist. We had no idea who she was, just like, oh, wow. So that's what you got to do too, is get in front of the people who just might be like, oh, wow, what is this?
Yeah. And I think, it's definitely, I always consider it a quality over quantity thing in terms of people engaging with the music. I would much rather have, play a show and have one person react to it rather than, 100 people ignoring you kind of thing. Like it's you can be playing to a full room. For instance, I played at a place up in Elk Rapids over St. Patrick's Day weekend a few years ago, which if you're familiar with what I do, why book me for St. Patrick's Day? I'm just going to bum everybody out. But there was one guy at the bar listening intently the whole time, and he came up to me on a set break, and it turned out it was Jim Cremidas, the pedal steel player. And it was another one of those things where it's like, okay, this is the universe putting this person in front of you, saying, here's a connection you need, here's the person you need in your life. And he's playing with me this evening. He's going to play dobro. So yeah, it's it's little things like that, and like the experience you had. You get there's one guy who every time I play Lake Ann, he comes out because he wants to hear Silver Linings because it's a song that meant something to him at a particular time in his life when he was going through a rough patch. And every time I see him, I wait to play it until I see him there, and then he gives me a nod and a thumbs up and a thanks for playing his song. So. It's it's building those relationships as you go. It's the grassroots approach.
Well, you're building a catalog of music as well. Do you have a plan for this record to get it out to more people, or are you just going to put it out and see what happens? Just
putting it out and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know what, without any sort of representation or money behind it, which as a full-time musician I don't have to be able to
hire
to throw.
A team.
Yeah, exactly. I can't afford to do that. So it's really just it's door-to-door salesman approach where I'm playing these venues. I'll have my records and CDs out in front of me. If you want to buy one, great. If not, that's okay too. But yeah, I tried with the last record I did the Spotify pushes and promotions, and for what I put into it, there was very little return. So the cost did not justify what I got out of it.
Low-cost solution, time-consuming a little bit, but search the country for college radio stations that have folk music and Americana shows.
Yeah.
Send them either digital or CD. Ask them what they prefer.
Yeah.
Get on their radar.
Yep.
Tell them to do a phone interview if they want.
For sure.
But put it out there. Like, find those shows. I know a few, and if they like it, at least you have I'm getting played in Peoria or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows? And then maybe they say, hey, we have this benefit coming up. Would you like to come play it? And then you got a new audience, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm ready to start heading in that direction, especially as my kids are getting older. It's a little easier to be away for a little bit longer stretches. I did a 7-8 day run with Jack and Senef at what was that, early April. And we've kind of made it an annual thing where we go out for a few days, boys fishing trip sort of thing. And to be able to do that and then just kind of continue to expand through the Midwest. And then, I have some friends in a band out in Colorado that I would like to try and piggyback off of and
open a show or two.
Yeah, see what happens.
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
All right, how about one more song, and then I'll let you get to the gig.
Sure.
I want you to be on time. I'm going. So.
Yeah, you said 20 to 30 from here?
Yeah.
Thereabouts?
You'll be
Okay.
fine.
This last one is There and Back Again, which I like to say has absolutely nothing to do with The Hobbit. I didn't think about that until after the fact. That was a mistake on my part, but it is kind of funny to picture, Bilbo and company with regard to the lyrics of this song. It's kind of an imaginary road trip. I got a tune that's going to drive me nuts. I apologize. My guitar is gradually getting used to the humidity of summer once more after a year of being inside and playing in inside venues. It's the joy of playing acoustic instruments and then having a sensitive ear.
They think they're still trees. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Come on, there we go. All right, let's try that again.
Take me anywhere you want to go. I'll be right by your side. Through thick and thin, there and back again. Maybe we'll go way, way out west, somewhere the sky opens up and becomes all that we can see. Either way, it's all the same to me. So long as we're in each other's company. Clouds turn into mountains as the earth reaches ever higher. The road unspools ahead before our very eyes, an endless ribbon we can follow deep into the night. Barreling on ahead towards a point on a faded map, an imagined destination, a place we've been before. The stereo's low, playing all our favorite songs. We're on our way, baby, just you and me. And there's no place else on earth that I'd rather be. And right here beside you with the windows down and the air blowing sweet and clean. The landscape changing shape, taking forms unlike any we've ever seen. Darling, we're finally on our way to the places of which we have only dreamed.
There and back again, John Richard Paul on Acoustic Alternatives from Grove Studios in Ypsilanti. John, thank you so much for...
Thank you for having me, John. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. I did kind of set this up as I want to help you. Like, I hope you got that from.
I did gather that. We can talk off mic.
Yeah. And the next comment is based both in somewhat in humor, but also in reality.
Okay.
So take it in both spirits. Trying to help here. You're 3/4 of the way there already. John Richard Paul.
Yep.
Add Harrison and do a Beatles tribute record.
I always said, when I grew up Catholic and never actually got confirmed, but I said if I did, my confirmation name was going to be George, because
You're there.
I'm 3/4 of the way there.
Right, but if you do a Beatles tribute record with that name,
For sure.
people would go, "Who is this guy? He's really good," and they would find your other records, because sometimes it does take doing a cover to get attention.
It does, yeah.
And it wouldn't be that hard to find a few Beatles songs
There'd
to
be
do.
a couple, I'm sure. Hear that Paul McCartney kid?
He's pretty good.
He's got it going.
Yeah. I mean, I can just imagine. I don't know. We have to sit down and talk about what songs you would do. But no, I mean, that might work. Seriously, it might actually get you some attention, because that's the hardest thing to do.
Very much so.
There's a lot of people doing what you're doing somewhere.
Yes, just looking at the Spotify listeners also, whatever, at the bottom of the page, folks also listen to, and it's just row after row of white dudes with beards and acoustic guitars, and it's like, what am I even doing?
Right, because there's a lot of you.
There are so many of us.
But not all of them are good. That's the problem. I mean, it's my opinion, right?
I appreciate that.
Everyone's opinion of music is different than everybody
Yes,
else's
very much
opinion.
so.
No one's going to have my musical taste or your musical taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say that my musical taste is better than anybody else's.
Right.
I've just got 41 years in the music industry in some way, shape, or form. So am I an expert, using air quotes? I guess. I mean, if I'm not now, when will I ever be?
Right, exactly.
I don't know. But this is what I love to do. I love for people to discover music. So I hope somebody finds you because of this. I hope I turned
so
you on
too.
to 2 or 5 or 50 new people. JohnRichardPaul.com is the website.
Yes.
They can find out more about you. And I hope that the listeners that know me from being part of this musical community in Wayne and Washtenaw County find you playing near here again soon, if they didn't
Fingers
find you
crossed.
today. Grove Studios, without them, again, there's no podcast. There's no reason for me to show up and do this, because I wouldn't have started it in the first place. I didn't think we needed this white guy with a beard.
Right.
playing.
Does the world need another podcast?
They don't. They don't. But I hope that this one resonates with people. GroveStudios.space. You could do your own podcast here. There's a table, like I said, right across from me. But especially musicians, we're talking to you. This is a place you can come and practice, and you can do your thing, and you can hone your skills, and you can do videos in here too. You can do recording in here if you want. There's not recording equipment per se, but I brought in my own. You could do the same. It's a space, and it gets you out of your garage and into the studio. GroveStudios.space. Grateful to them. Grateful to John, and we'll see you again soon.
Sounds good.